Hi there. I know I haven't posted in a while except for the Rainier videos, but I've been away traveling for quite a bit. I don't think I mentioned before, but Tina is actually in Germany. She lives in Germany and she had to go home for a while, and then she came to visit just before PCT Day. So I went up to Seattle, picked her up from the airport, drove to PCT Days, and we spent a few days there meeting people and everything. But as soon as that was over, we actually wanted to go hike the Wonderland Trail. So we drove straight up to Mount Rainier, camped just west of there in a nice spot, beautiful riverside campsite where you can see Mount Rainier and everything. And then we drove into Longmire, got walk-up permits for a 6-night, 7-day trip around the Wonderland Trail, which goes around Mount Rainier, as you may know. And then we went back to the same campsite, stayed there the next night, and then drove back in the next morning and started our hike. And then as soon as that was over, we actually stayed in a motel for a couple days to just warm up again because we were cold and wet and all our stuff was wet. And then we drove up towards the Canadian border, camped out just before, and then drove over next day and then went straight west towards Vancouver. And we actually went up to Vancouver Island and spent a little over 3 weeks there, and we saw all kinds of stuff. It's pretty crazy. My one regret is I wish I had a kayak, but I don't know, it's ocean kayaking. I'd probably been kind of intimidated out there. But oh, if you had a kayak, you could be right up there and you could see orcas and sea lions and everything. It'd be so cool. I was so jealous of the people that were out there. But anyway, I thought I'd let you know what I've been up to. And right now I am actually in Oregon's Northwest Oregon. I just got my car lifted, not stolen, but lifted as in jacked up. I don't know if you knew, but the back was sagging quite a bit on my 4Runner. If you look at brand new 4Runners with nothing in it, the back is actually a little bit higher than the front, and some people actually raise the front a little bit and it levels it, and it's usually 1.5 to 2 inches. My back was sagging so much that it was a little lower than level, so it was dipping at least 2 to 3 inches. And there have been a few times where I've been driving over things and I heard the back tire, which hangs off the back of the car, scraping on things. And I really didn't want to scrape it on some rocks and just tear it open because it's the side of the tire that scrapes. And the side, of course, is where it's weaker, really, and that's where you can get a hole and can't really fix it. But so I want to get it lifted. It actually got to the point where before I went to rough off-roading areas, I used to not put gas in it just so I could have it maybe a quarter empty or a quarter full, just to reduce the weight in the complete total back so I wouldn't drag on everything. So that's not good too, because if you're going to go off-roading, it's nice to have a full gas tank in case there's a road closed and you need to backtrack and go around and go somewhere else. So I finally got that done. So the back is much higher looking than the front. Now, before I got it lifted, I tried to figure out what springs to get, because if you just get it lifted with the standard springs, it would have been sagging again, so it would have been pointing straight up again. So I tried to guess how much weight was in the car, and that's how you gauge what spring to get or what coils to get. So I was doing some math and I thought 150 pounds for batteries, the wood stuff can't be more than 100 at most. And I can't have 50 pounds, about 50 pounds. I thought maybe 300, 400 pounds. And I just thought, you know what, forget this. I'm just going to go get it weighed and tell for sure. So I actually went to a truck stop and I went to get it weighed. And the empty 4Runner should weigh around 1450, 1475, I believe. My car actually weighed 5,200 pounds. It came to about 730, 750 pounds of gear in there. That's not including me or the water that I had because it was empty. So with me and a full 5-gallon tank of water, it would have come to about 900 pounds. So I went to Les Schwab tire centers because I heard they handle lifts and they do that often. But they originally only sold kits of lifts, which I think were mostly targeted towards people who want it lifted to look rugged and look cool. But they weren't I don't know, as rugged as you would think, and they didn't account for any kind of heavier springs. So all the kits they had would have been standard springs, and it would have sagged some more. I tried to deal with them to try to go to ARB. They sold Old Man Emu or Old Man Emu coils, and they have the ones that are coils rated at different weights, and that's what I have in the back right now, actually. But they had the hardest time, and they couldn't figure things out. It was just kind of too complicated, and you could tell they've never had to handle sag issues before. Which is, I'm surprised, because a lot of people put crazy things like huge racks on the top and steel bumpers, but I guess they never had to deal with that. I guess people usually don't go to them for that. So I went to Accessory Outfitters, which specializes in things like that, and they suggested the 800-pound rated springs. And I thought, oh man, that's going to be a tough ride. But they called ARB and they said that's probably the way you should go, because after a while it's going to sag a little bit just because the coils wear in a little bit. And it should go down a little bit and look a little lower. But for now, it looks good. It's actually looks factory again, how much the back is lifted compared to the front. And I will say it's a little harder ride. You can feel it, you can hear things jostling around back there more when you hit the potholes. But overall, it's working out, and I think it takes a little while getting used to. And I do have to use the Nerf bars, or I have to really jump to get into the driver's seat now. But I think it's gonna be working out really well. So, got it all lifted, and they wanted me to come back after 500 miles to re-tighten all the bolts and everything. So instead of heading straight east, I thought I would head to the coast and just drive south a little bit. And there's a lot to see there, like Devil's Punch Bowl, and here comes the car. Devil's Punch Bowl and Thor's Well, so I'm gonna go look at those. Car. So I'm gonna do that and drive down about 200, 300 miles, and then drive back up and have them retighten everything, because that's part of the whole package with them. And then have them to check everything out after all this off-roading I'll be doing, because all the forest roads out here. And then I'm gonna head east. My plan for now, I'm gonna get home before Thanksgiving, and that's Northern Illinois. But on the way, I figure I'm gonna spend a couple weeks at Yellowstone. It's been snowing there like crazy the last few days, so I think it's gonna look beautiful, and might see more animals. Might see animals a little easier just because there'll be dark and be white snow everywhere. And I also read that the western roads are closed in November, so I'd like to get there before they close so I can cut through. And there's some road on the east that closes mid-October, they say, so I don't know, they might be closed by the time I get there. I don't know. But I'm gonna go through and then figure it out from there. I know there's some BLM on the outsides, so I'm gonna try to camp there, but we'll see. There might be sometimes I camp within the park, whatever campsites are open, just so I can have a shorter drive next day to go look around. But be kind of cool. So that's the plan for now. After Yellowstone, I have no idea. I figure I'll go to Mount Rushmore and then Crazy Horse Monument, and then sadly we're gonna head home, and there's not much on the way. So, oh yes, I forgot to mention, after our Vancouver Island trip, Tina did fly back to Germany out of Vancouver, and then since then I drove across the border, and I've been hanging out. It took about a week to get all the parts ordered and then installed. Well, get the estimates and figure everything. So I was actually at my friend Gavin and Kelly's place for a little over a week, and thank you so much for letting me stay there. Just having to drop the vehicle off for a day, I'd have been homeless, really, wandering around, so it wouldn't, I don't know, it wouldn't have been as fun at all. And Kelly, your food was awesome, by the way. As far as the videos, I don't know, it's hard trying to catch up to the videos because they're so old now. So my plan for now is to there's another car. It's hard to catch up to the videos because they've been filmed so long ago a while now. So I'm going to try to do all the Rainier. I'll make the videos for Vancouver Island. But I'm going to start doing vlogging videos and some other videos. I'm going to try to release them beforehand and stagger them apart. So you might see some videos, and then you might all of a sudden see a video from recorded in July of our Sierra trip, or I don't know. There's a lot of trucks going by. So you might all of a sudden see videos from older trips that were quite old, like our bristlecone pine tree trip. That happened late July, but I think that park is unique enough and it's so beautiful. I don't want to just kind of toss the footage. I'm going to make a video. It'll just come out months after it happened. But ideally, I'd love to get videos released within a week or two just to keep it more current and kind of buffer it out with some other things. I don't know. I do need to make some gear videos. I've been spending almost 7 months in this car now. So the various things in there I've gotten to learn. I've used them enough where I feel like I can make thorough reviews now. So I'll make a video of that. I still need to make a tour of the car itself because I think I've gotten used to how things are set up. And I will also make a more thorough in-depth video of the solar setup because I think it's kind of unique to me anyway. At least not too many people with 4Runners have solar setups. So I think you may like it, I'm not sure. And then it's winter time, so maybe I'll show you how I stay warm in here, which really just means a whole lot of blankets and a quilt. So please look at the description. I've got links to my Instagram. I'm starting to post more stuff there. And I have links to Tina's Instagram. She has great photos, actually. She probably has better photos than me. We traded photos, and I would say some of her photos are much better than mine. So check out her Instagram. And I got all the gear I use as far as cameras and things like that. And the program I use to edit, which is Davinci Resolve 15, the free version. And I'm still using 15 for now because I just kind of know it. And then I will talk to you later, okay? Bye.